Well, hello, good morning. It's your old mate Dave Spencer back with you once again, off on our transport adventures once again, which has taken us down to the West Midlands, and we're going to start at Walsall. It's not that far down the motorway from home, but in the mornings it takes forever because of all the traffic jams, and they spent millions and millions and millions of sort of changing the junction on the M6 interchange with for Walsall. And is it any better? Of course it isn't. Another way of wasting money. Anyway, what we're going to see in Walsall today, yes, we shall see what we shall see. So I better get on with the job in hand, didn't I? Otherwise we'll see nothing. Catch up with you later. How's that? Bye for now. Case rider. Well, there's an awful lot of room at the station, but it looks like everybody wants to stop at the same stands. We call it a stand, a stop, stances, whatever. I know it does vary up and down the country. It's like little sort of blocks, little chops that you put under the big vehicle on the hills, or even the cars when the brakes work so good. I had a Ford Anglia, 105e Anglia, and the brakes on that worked good. No, I tell you, like, it was a Woody, it was a Traveller, and yeah, his brakes were very good. Happy days there, happy days. There's quite a mix, isn't there, really? It's not a bad start to the day, really. It's an interesting place. It's got sort of 2 bus stations serving sort of different ends and different sorts of people, should we say. Rough guess, I'd say the police cars will be using it as a shortcut. We had a very dry and sunny spring. Now we're in summer, it's a bit damper and a bit chillier, but diamond. Well, there's a bit of a lull here to start with, but it has picked up a bit. Very friendly drivers. What is? Away goes the diamond. That one caught me on the hop. I thought he was going to come all the way round. He didn't. So that was me caught wrong-footed, wasn't it, really? So I was saying earlier how it had been a very dry and sunny, quite warm spring. Very little rainfall. Everybody's getting a bit twitchy, save your water. And do you remember when there was a drought, Central 6, wasn't it? And share a bath was the motto at that time. Anyway, summer has finally arrived in the form of June 2025, and the weather turned wet, windy, chilly. Electric blankets and the fire went on again, and anyway, we survived all that, and we hear that this week it's going to suddenly pick up and be warm and sunny again, so who knows. Oh, who knows when a bus is going to come. I shouldn't have left it running, should I? Suddenly get a bit of surge and then they'll drop away. If you wait long enough, usually something turns up. I don't really like leaving it running on automatic settings. It's just that here, when they sort of go into the bus station, it screws your exposure up completely. If you're just on a sort of solitary exposure, I just whack it on the wall so at least it looks exposed right, and you can't read the destination screen. Trying my best all the time, of course, waving away and grinning like a maniac, because that's what the problem is. We're not used to people smiling. Who remembers the time that the police were called? A woman said that I was standing waving at the traffic. Well, I sort of was at the lorries. You took it a roundabout. Yeah, a rather sorry story of Britain in post-COVID generation. Scared of their own shallow now. The politically correct, gone mad generation. Most things have gone downhill in my lifetime. I suppose there's a few odds and ends which got better, but it's hard to think of that many. was a diamond. For a while they adopted a similar livery. I think the object of the lesson there was to you know, give some sort of uniformity. In the same way now we're having the tendered services franchised, and it's the same colour whoever actually operates the buses. But it didn't last. I ain't saying nothing about diamond. Anyway, the only diamonds in our house that ever get mentioned is sort of ones that hang from necklaces and twinkle on fingers in rings. Mandy likes her stones. I grew up with a lot of stones actually. I grew up on the south coast, Eastbourne, and we had a shingle beach. Very shingly. You learnt to be able to walk on stones. No, not water. But walking on stones was a sort of a bit of an art form. A lot of people find it very sort of a great deal of discomfort, but you do learn how to do it. Come on, we know you can get round. It still wants to take a bit of effort. It's got lights there, you see. Street sweeper coming along next. Really sure where these come from, but they're quite nicely presented, and quite they're registered in Walsall, so a local independent. Nice to see them there. Son of Tony with the road sweeper. I just saw that one was indicated to come this way. Perhaps he was. Who knows? Well, did better this time. Chase rider. Most of the post office vans here seem to be electric. When we've done this bit of the town, we go up to the other end and see what's happening there. More on the independent front up there. Waiting for the lights to change from pink to orange. Oh yes, do things differently here. I saw that open reach there, reminded me I need to get on to our internet provider. Last 2 mornings there's been no internet. It's sort of come back on later. So a chap, a lovely driver, and we expect no less. Who's looking forward. He'd never had his picture taken before on his bus, so I was really pleased to be the first to take a picture of him. and always makes your day, isn't it, when you find really friendly places. Not many in this version of the livery now around. Most sort of heritage livery. Perhaps it is, who knows, I don't know. I think they're in heritage liveries, and it turns out that it's a new sort of take on the heritage thing. Wish more would do that. You know, if you ever get a heritage vehicle, generally speaking, the heritage vehicle's livery will be better than whatever the livery is that they're using at that time for the buses in service. It's just as a rule of thumb, it pretty well works all the time. Walsall, Wolverhampton, two neighbouring trolley bus systems back in the day, and Walsall, very innovative fleet. Wolverhampton, also very smart. West Brom was probably the nicest of them all to look at. And then sort of West Brom descended into, well, I don't know what you'd say it descended into. But, it was good fun at the bus station after deregulation in 1986. There was plenty to see. You'd see buses in all sorts of states as well. Happy days. What a time to have been a bus enthusiast. And the rally scene, they were mostly sort of come along, park up and then go home type of affairs. The trailblazer on it, as far as I'm concerned, was Cobham, and Cobham was one of the first to provide a free bus service, and really the buses in service there were virtually continuous. Eventually it just got too much for the museum premises, and then they had their annual gathering all over the place. Lots of supermarkets, car parks. Got these blasted bells beeping in the background there at the post office. I think it's these wretched electrics trying to get out into the road, and a lot of beeping in the process. We'll stick it out here until we're sort of within spitting distance of the finishing line, and then we'll take a look at the other side of town. Of course, the big events these days in the West Midlands are is the ever expanding tram system. The Midland Metro, and at the moment making progress into Dudley. Trams will run in the shadow of the castle. That's a bit poetic, isn't it, this time? Get enough of that day. away from the police, and that's when you know that you're in a nice place. This place is made by people, isn't it, really? Another chase rider. I think that's the first non-electric postman I've seen this morning. Feel a sort of whiff of new electric bus replacements happening sometime soon around Walsall. Well, I'm just judging by the state of the old ones. It's got to be a heritage, isn't it? Now next we're going to take our little walk through the town and go down to the other bus stops. The minor spot here is the fact that the taxis sit right on the curve in the road. So, as we know, some members of the community choose to do that and pretend they're somewhere else. Very annoying though, isn't it? Sorted.
When you're blocking your shots.
Right. It's just going. No, all right, mate. photo taken by a few locals.
But if you put it on the crowd, no man did you, but if you put it
Well, we've come to the end of our visit to Walsall on this now sunny and almost warmish in the out of the wind, and it's pleasant enough in Walsall. Some very friendly drivers this morning, and time to move on. Did we see what we wanted to see? Well, that's up to you, isn't it? And remember though, stay safe, stay well, be good, and if you can, be kind to other people, because we really are living through some very difficult times, aren't we? All very strange these days, isn't it? All this political correctness and things like that, and all the computerisation and automation, and nobody's got any time for anything. Well, never mind. We'll meet up again soon, I hope. Mandy's back home. Get on with going down the shops and buying some more clothes or something. And I'm tramping around the West Midlands. So on behalf of us both, God bless. And we'll see you all again in the very near future. Bye bye for now. Goodbye.